Hey, 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 it is Friday, March 10th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast. I am Brannon Beliso, and this is Success Never Sleeps, where we as a collective, right, of especially martial arts school owners, but small businesses, entrepreneurs, we're trying to figure out this thing called life while we stay true to our values, the things that resonate most at our heart. And we know there's tons of information out there on ways to be successful, to promote your business, to get new students, to grow it, to scale, to monetize. But really, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know thyself, if your values aren't clear for you, then it's going to be very challenging because you'll follow every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or maybe a scallywag, huh, Marco? You'll follow any of them, and that's really scary. They say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, but without being narrow-minded and closed-minded, I think it's important to know who you are and what your values are. So when you decide to work with me as a consultant or adopt somebody's program and bring it into your culture, that you're very clear. It fits the values of your culture, right? Somebody reached out to me today and they said, I know what you're going to say. And when the day was done, they knew what I was going to say because for me, it's very important that my brand emulates the core values of our company and what we do. And so if I'm going to work with another brand, their values and why has to resonate at the same level. Thus, leading into why my sponsors. I love Market Muscles. Again, Stephen Reinstein is just a sweet man. He's a good man, and I'm glad he's in Japan and training, and he's just such a good man. And Tusa, Gunny Kang and his family has known my family since the 90s. And Gunny's grown up. I watched him grow up, and he's growing every day and really figuring this thing out and what's going to be his legacy while also maintaining the integrity of his family's name. My studio, Tulay, Lynette, it's another family business, right? They also work with Kevin Cassidy, right? It's all part of the family, and I dig that as well. Kids Love Life Skills. My sister and Ben and Marco and Amy and Chris and everybody that runs that company for me so I can just create content when I'm working on it. And I've got a lot of content to create as we work to grow that brand. And of course, LC Accounting, right? All these people I choose to align myself with. I use every one of their services, by the way. I use every one of their products, by the way. So it's not I'm simply a mouthpiece for them, but it's really about the relationships. And you hear me talk about that passionately again and again and again in what I do. And anyone I've ever worked with that I've consulted, we become lifelong friends in many cases, and we build things together. We have fun in the process, which leads me to where will I be on April 23rd? It's Time Live Boston. Yeah, it's my only East Coast visit. We're going to spend about 9 hours together. We're going to serve you breakfast. We're going to serve you lunch. I'm going to give you a copy of my book. You'll have access to all of my e-learning products for 3 months. Plus, we'll get down. We're going to get down. We'll talk about systems. We'll talk about branding. We'll talk about staff training. We'll talk about storytelling. We'll talk about wealth building and personal development. It's just really being a well-rounded entrepreneur to run a successful business. And I think that's what's beautiful about the work I do. The fact that I'm in the trenches like you and I work like you every day. I understand when that toilet's broke, I got to fix it because we have classes at 3. I can't wait for a plumber. I can't do any of that. So I think that's vital, that common sense, that je ne sais quoi, the thing that makes an entrepreneur unique is their ability to figure stuff out, right? And we can't always outsource as much as we believe we should. We can't simply do that. So as you're coming aboard, put your name in the comments. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Hey, what's up, Mish? What's up, Jason, Bob, Conrad? All right. Share this, you guys. Let's get some more people on the show today. Let's get some new people. Go out there and invite 10 of your new friends that have never experienced Success Never Sleeps, and we'll get them to cut it up with us. Success leaves clues. And last weekend, I was out at the Giants spring training, took my older son, and it was really neat to do that with him. It was very, very neat to spend that time with my son. And I like to pre-frame that because I'm big on storytelling. Growing up, money was short. And when, he's 44, I'm 61. So do the math, right? I was a baby when he was born. I was just a young teenager. So we used to go to the Giants games and we'd park about a mile away because we couldn't afford the parking. We would take our hot dogs and wrap them in tin foil because we couldn't afford the concession. And we'd sit in the $2.50 bleacher seats. So it's always been one of our dreams to go to spring training. And we're able to do that in Scottsdale. And we ate really well. We stayed in a nice hotel. We had great seats. And just to share that time with my son, I think I was on the verge of tears the whole time I was there. It's just overwhelming to have the contrast of growing up when money was really short and being in the position I'm in now. And I shared that in a post. I posted a picture of me in my new Tesla. As I shared, I paid cash for that, which is something I used to never be able to do. And I was able to take my son to spring training. And my comment is that we should, if we're any type of business person or entrepreneur, we should be creating businesses that are profitable. And I know there's that big debate in our industry. If you do that, then your martial arts sucks and you're not true to the art. And I beg to differ. I think you can have great martial arts and you can also make great money. Not good money, great money. So while I was there on Sunday, I had the chance to have breakfast with lunch, I should say, with Abel Usello. And I worked with him about 4 years ago, and he's been to every one of our It's Time live events. And that's where this relationship started. And when I started with Abel, he was in the low 100s students. And I was just tickled pink and so happy that today he has 370 students. Yeah, it just made my heart, really, really grateful because it's hard what I teach, you guys, because I don't sell the quick fix. I don't sell the instant gratification. I don't sell the break even. I sell the long game, the generational business, the farmer mentality. And that takes time. And to see Abel at 370 students. Now here's the big kicker. No Facebook ads. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Then who came into town? Master Mertens of World Class Taekwondo. 5 locations out in the Buffalo, New York area, and they have like 400 or 500 per location. So they're running close to 2,000 students between 5 locations. Okay. But we had dinner when he came to visit because he was on his way to San Jose for a big belt testing. His 2 students who started as kids, who stayed with him all this time, just such loyalty. Master Mertens has an extreme loyalty to his master. I want to say Grandmaster Chong. If I'm incorrect, I'm sorry about that. And he's loyal to him. And you don't see that just in humanity anymore. And both these kids, I call them kids, they're 35 and 37. Now, stay with me on this. One location, 793 students in one location. I think they're about 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. So they have 30 kids in every class, 5-6 classes a day, and they just rock it, man. 793 students, folks, and no Facebook ads. And I asked them, what's your secret? Why do you think that is? It's relationships and communication. We make sure to know where our students are at all times, the pulse, right? What's going on in their lives, what's going on, in and out of the school. And I was just, it's just, I sing that song. So to see other people out there flying under the radar, and these are high-end operators, 793 folks in one location. That's just badass, right? And with no digital marketing. And it really is that, right? I don't do any digital marketing right now other than Google ad for our after school program. Other than that, we do none. So to see high-end operators producing those numbers, Abel Usello, 370, right? We're running 960 today between 2 locations, and they're running 793 in one location. No digital marketing. So it's the song I sing, and I profess, and I'll continue to do that. Work on your taking care of your staff, work on your curriculum, work on your customer experience, invest in those relationships, and it will organically be referrals through word of mouth. Cool. So I just wanted to share that because I was just very overwhelmed by everything. And it just success leaves clues. And those aha moments that have been firing at me in the past week just really drive that home. Cool. All right. So let's get into this big dog. Today we're talking about our number one demographic that we should be marketing to. And that is moms. Please make no mistake. It is moms all day. I know in my household, and many men will vouch for this, the women make the buying decision. I simply sign the check. I simply take the kids to soccer, gymnastics, whatever. My kids have tutors. They have private instructors for basketball. They're on elite soccer teams and basketball teams. All I do is get in the freaking car and drive. That's what I do. And that's the truth, you know? And it's something I don't want you guys to be afraid of. It's something I really, really, really want you guys to accept. And I know a lot of the dads might be rearing their head at me right now, getting defensive, going, man, Brandon Beliso. It's true. I mean, in most cases, I think it's extremely true. So I want you guys to think about that for a moment, okay? So let's bring up the first slide, Marco. You got those slides in order, sir? Okay, so the mindset of a mom, and I think, and I wanted to leave this here because when I originally did this, Rainmaker was one of my sponsors, and he's a good soul. I mean, they're good people, and I know I've moved on strictly into my studio now as they became a CRM system. But anytime I can give credit where credit is due, I want to do that. So Rainmaker, you guys out there in the world, you're good folks, and I wish you well. So this was originally done at It's Time Live again. All right, so go ahead and go to the next slide, sir. So the mindset of a mom, when we talk about that, what does that mean? What does that mean, the mindset of a mom, right? It's really understanding. Oh, wow, look at that. What's going on there, Marco? Whoa, that slides. I'm seeing like 3D. So who's your demographic? Is it moms? Is it dads? Is it kids? No way. It is the mom. And I think I don't want to beat that one like a dead horse, but it's really what it is. Why? Because data proves moms make the activity choices and buying decisions for their kids. Cool. Go to the next slide. And as we're going through this and you're coming aboard, you guys, can you please put in your name, where you're tuning in from, share this with as many people as you can. And I'd love to know who's here so I can give you a shout out. Who else is coming aboard? Thank you, Jason, for that. Thank you. Who else is here today? Go ahead and put it in. Let us know you're watching and share this with as many people as you can, and we'd appreciate that. So what kind of mom? And it's the working mom, the stay-at-home mom, the single mom, the same-sex mom. Make no doubt it's a mom. And I think it's really important for me to understand when we're talking about moms is how they behave. And my number one source of marketing is my wife. Anything, any flyer that I do, anything that we partake in, I always run it by her. I freak out. I think I do that too much to my mom in the waiting area. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? What do you think of this? It's no different than a focus group. And I found that very interesting how movies will shoot a whole movie, then they'll screen it to a focus group of who they believe the demographic is. And if they don't like a certain part of it, like the finale, they'll go back and reshoot that. They'll spend millions of dollars to go back and reshoot that so it has a better chance of performing better at the box office. I think that is smart business. So when you take your advice from a digital marketer who's simply looking at insights and stats, that's one thing you should take it in consideration. But please do not discount the power of every mom sitting in the waiting area of your school during a class. Do not discount, and feel free to ask him that and say, hey, do I have permission to bother you? Sure, right? Because one, they know your school. Two, they know the school district. Three, they might be on the PTA. Four, they take their kids to the gymboree, the gymnastics, the soccer, and everything else. So they are literally at the pulse of the mom industry within the 3 to 5 mile radius of your brick and mortar location. Everybody agree with me on that? Tell me you do. Put it in the comments. Next slide, sir. All right. So I want to know, where do these moms and kids shop, eat, and play? I want to know, because that's going to become one of the many ways I'm going to market. Now, hypothetically, let's say they shop at the community co-op grocery store. I'm looking at a bulletin board. And if I can hang something on that bulletin board with a QR code, I would. Would I consider putting an ad on the shopping cart or something like that? Probably not. Probably not. Because I think for me, anyways, that goes by really quick. Would I put it on the back of the receipt that they get at that grocery store? Probably not. But something like a community bulletin board, maybe the ability to stand out front and give out a handbill, something like that, I think would be important. And I'm going to be shopping those stores wearing my One Martial Arts gear. Everybody with me? So shopping is a big one because there's so many community bulletin boards. There's so many ways that you can get exposure. I remember once being in a store, and I don't know if I was with Braden or Taya, but they were in their karate uniform. And this mom looked at me and she said, you know, Oh, good. We are starting to see more moms having groceries delivered now, and we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Because that is a new direction. I just ordered some stuff out of Instacart. So Instacart, ironically, look this up for me really quick, Marco. That I read, I don't might have been the Wall Street Journal, but Instacart says they now have advertising. Is that true, Marco? Does Instacart have a way for us to advertise on their app platform? Let me know. Take a look at that, please. Because you're right, Jason. I think that that's something we want to be looking at because we know digital marketing is still very effective. It's one of many ways, but come on. I do know Facebook ads, right? Other than we just advertised Boston. The school with 793 students, no Facebook ads. The guy with 370 students, no Facebook ads. So there's an argument for both sides. I think strategically and budget wise, you have to just decide what works for you and what doesn't. Okay. Now, why is it important to me where they eat? Well, if they eat in a restaurant my family frequents in, I might be inspired to go in with the coloring sheet from Kids Love Life Skills. Say, hey, we're going to put the kids' menu on the other side. Every month, can we deliver you coloring sheets and crayons for the kids to color while they're waiting for their food? And some will say no. You know, the franchises will always say no, will always say no, always say no because they're under a franchise. So they have certain guidelines and criteria they must follow. Yeah, see, there you go. Marco just put it in there. Instacart does offer advertising. And I do know Instacart, you know, Uber Eats, DoorDash are now becoming some of the most effective ways of getting groceries delivered to your house. So Instacart is something I'm going to look at. You know, I've had my eye on it, and that's why I bring it up to you. And Jason shared his comment about that. But we're going to consider that too. Because if nobody's there in a martial arts school, I want to be there. I don't want to sit there, you know, with everybody else. And that's when it got to that whole, you know, talking in the school thing, right? There was a line a yard deep of school owners who are already waiting their turn to go do some bully awareness, confidence building talk. That's why I developed Reader of the Day. That's not something martial arts schools do per se, but now with our book from Kids Love Life Skills, The Adventures of Bray and Tay, you can go in without the threat that we're going to teach these kids to kick and punch. So, again, finding unique different ways to market is always something on my radar and something I love a lot. So, going back to the eating thing, you can approach a local restaurant you eat in, and you're going to have to stay on top of it, though. They are not going to reach out to you each month and ask for new coloring sheets and crayons. They're not. But if you simply bring it to them every month, they might be more akin to it. So look at those restaurants you and your family frequent in, and look at those restaurants that you know families eat in. I want friendly restaurants. I'm not going to go to a thing that's, you know, suit and tie, prime rib that nobody eats there and there's no kids. That's a waste of time. But there's a lot of restaurants out there in your community. I believe with a little bit of work, you could get the coloring sheets put in them. Cool. And those moms would love it. Instead of handing them the damn phone, they've got this life skills sheet on teamwork or focus or empathy, and they're coloring it. And on the backside, it's got the kids menu, and to the right is a QR code saying, you know, coloring sheets courtesy of Focus Martial Arts or One Martial Arts or Believe Martial Arts. Pretty badass. But again, it's something you have to cultivate. You can get the crayons out of Oriental Trading. They're like 10 cents each, right? Better than those generic things with a maze on it and, you know, what's different in this picture type stuff. Those are yucky. This at least has some depth, and that's the angle you take. You know, what a great co-branding B2B. Plus, you're getting this rich life skills education, which no restaurant in this community is going to offer these kids. And the coloring sheets are cool. And then, of course, where do they play? Where do they play? Right? Jamba Juice. Every parent goes to a Jamba Juice. Did you know there's a community billboard in there? Of course, you got to check it because other people will take your stuff down and put theirs up and all the rest, right? Yeah, it does. It does, Jason. It really does provide a unique experience for the business and the family. And I see people sitting there. Do say hi. Tell me in where you're tuning in from. Put your name in there and let me know. I'll give you a shout out here at the show. So I want to know that. And here's where the play thing came in. All right. Um, we did this very consistently before the pandemic, and we'll get back to it this summer again. On a Sunday, parents are normally in the local parks playing on the play structures with the kids before they go have lunch or brunch. So it wasn't uncommon while they were playing to see off in the distance who's coming up, Kung Fu Panda. We got bubble guns blowing bubbles. We have balloons in each hand, right? So you see the colorful balloons waving. We have fruit snacks, organic fruit snacks attached to a call to action card. Nothing with the nuts in it because then you're dealing with that allergy thing. Just a good fruit snack, organic. It's safe. Everybody can eat it. And we have music. So here we are coming into this park, and kids are looking like it's freaking Disneyland. They run up to us, they take pictures with us, we give them a balloon, we give them a fruit snack, we blow some bubbles, right? We do all of that. And then we're out onto the next park. So we hit like 3 or 4 parks on a Sunday, and we rotate that from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Innovative? I think so. Different? I think so. Effective? Yes, very much so. To add that little Disney thing when you're at a play structure park playing with your kids is pretty cool. So again, understanding where do they play, we realized on a Sunday because we did it with our own kids that we're out in the park by 11 a.m. and then we go have lunch somewhere. It was a family thing we did every Sunday when the kids were younger. So it's something I would encourage you do, and it's something I encourage that you take a look at. Cool. So where else do they play? Put it in the comments. In your community, where do your moms shop? Hey, Eric, what's happening, sir? Good to see Eric Roach. What's happening, sir? It's been a while, but I'm grateful you're here. So put it in the comments. Where do your moms shop, eat, and play? Now, Lululemon's a big one, but there's nothing I can do with Lululemon. They do have a community billboard and some of them in the back. You can try to put it on that. I've done a self-defense workshop for Lululemon. That was super cool. They do a lot of in-store things. I kid you not. They move all of the displays out of the way. And I did a self-defense workshop in Lululemon. So look into that. Each branch has their own things. I've seen yoga. I've seen, train your dog, everything. They recognize they simply want people in their store. Okay. And they did a lot of that pre-pandemic. So take a look and see what they're doing now. Come on, put it in the comments. I want your comments. Where do you think your moms shop, eat, and play? Where do they shop, eat, and play? When I was in Scottsdale, Old Town Scottsdale, they had a ice cream parlor, and it looked old and funky. They had thousands of 5-star reviews, and I'm already looking and they're going, wow, if I had a karate school here, I wonder what I could do here with them. That could be something as simple as a table centerpiece, right, with your QR code on it. Why would you not pay them to do that if it aligns with their brand? What would that conversation be like? I'll pay you $300 a month for letting me put a table sign on all of your tables. I don't know, right? I'm just saying to be creative in your marketing is not a bad thing. And what does it hurt to ask, right? To put our coloring sheets in the local pediatrician's office or dentist's office that caters to kids. Why not? To go to your local library and give them a copy of The Adventures of Bray and Tay and put your sticker on the back. Why not? They have readers all the time in the library. Why limit it simply to the elementary schools and the preschools? Why not be reader of the day in the library on a Saturday afternoon, right? Why not? Why not? I read the book in my son's preschool. I've done it at elementary schools, and it goes on and on. Cool? And eating is important too. We know that, but it could be something as simple as a farmer's market on a Saturday. That's a big one. I have a school, Team Martial Arts, that I work with, and they're one of the main sponsors now of the farmer's market, and they get tons of leads off of that. So, again, being creative, be creative, be creative, be creative. Coloring sheets to the library too, sure, right? They don't have to spend money on paper. You supply crayons and coloring sheets, and it keeps the siblings quiet while the other kids are looking at books. Sure, I'm all for it. What I really love is the creativity. And I'm going to give that one to Jason right now because I thought I was a badass with my kid's baby changing table, right? Then this freaking guy one-ups me and gets a toddler seat. And it's cool. So I ordered 4 of them for the schools, right? It's roughly the adult toilet seat. Then the toddler toilet seat folds down on it. Just cool. But it's always mining. How can we better this? And what I want to praise Jason on from Believe Martial Arts is he did it better. He goes, well, what else can we do to this bathroom? Ooh, and he's got babies. So, I'm sure he's got one of those at home, and it was just a natural fit. I can't wait till I put that on and the parents come in and go, wow, that's pretty cool. My concern, Jason, is what if some big guy about 300 pounds tries to sit on the toddler seat? and then it has a bad scene in the bathroom. I'm just messing with you guys. Come on, nobody put in the comments. Where do your moms shop, eat, and play? Anybody? Where do they shop, eat, and play? All right. We're mining that. So another place, it's not that they play, but they're there in the white zone. In the white zone. You know how many mom and dads congregate in the white zone waking to pick up the kids? More so than the morning, because the morning they're trying to get to work and do what they do. But literally, I've driven by an hour after school is let out, right? By my kids' elementary school. And who's still standing out front talking with a group of moms? My wife. My wife. So, how can I do that? Maybe I can be the crossing guard in that white zone. How can I do that? Maybe I can sponsor the little yellow vest the kids wear to, greet people, right? What can I do? What can I do? We're always asking. We got a call yesterday, and you'll love this. We had the Millbrae School District reach out and said, "Hey, I understand you donate cotton candy machines to some of the elementary schools. Can you do these 2 dates for us?" Absolutely. So it's cool. They're reaching out to us now. I was just on the phone yesterday talking to a gentleman. We want to get our name on the scoreboard on the local baseball field. And this baseball field probably has 4 or 5 fields. And we want this big giant scoreboard because every time your kid's playing baseball, you look at the score. You look at the score. You look at the score. So if it's on the main diamond, and that's where they're going to put it, every championship is played there. Tournaments are played there. And some of this is year round, year round between soccer and everything else. And we're looking at the cost now, and it's going to cost me roughly maybe $7,000 to $10,000. That might seem like a lot up front, right? But wait, my name is there forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, ever. See, so that's the cool thing about that. It will be there, right? It's part of our legacy. Every time you look at that scoreboard, it's going to say one more Schloitz. And so that's something we're looking at. Another one, and I was talking to my wife, and she's all for this one. Every city has their Lions Club, right? Do you guys have a Lions Club? Yep. Oh yeah, and we'll talk about that, right? So that's why moving into the sports teams for Parks and Recs, that's a great one, Jason. That's a great one. Um, Everybody have a Lions Club in their community? Tell me you do. And again, right, this is where they shop, eat, and play. This is where they hang out, right? We're talking about families, moms, kids. Who has a Lions Club in their community? Put it in. And while you put that in, I'm going to continue this. So we have a Lions Club, and they supply, their famous, their infamous pancake and sausage breakfast. It's at every running event, back to school, walkathon, anywhere they can be, they're at. They do they do it for the Little League opener. They do it a lot of places. Um, and so we first hooked up with them. They were doing the pancakes and sausage at an elementary school fun run. And I think they called it the turkey trot. So it was right around Thanksgiving. So we went to them and said, great, how about we give toppings, strawberries, blueberries, bananas, whipped cream, granola, yogurt to put on top of these pancakes? They said, sure. So we teamed up with the Millbrae Lions there. No, nobody has a Lions? Nobody has a Lions where they're at? I want to see if everyone's still breathing here. Are you guys with me? Who's with me? Put it in there. Put hashtag live your best life. I want to make sure no one's responding to my questions, Marco. Okay, can you like buzz them? Bzzzt. How many have a Lions Club in your community? So, because I'm always mining this data, this is the new one. So they now want to do a mini trailer, right? They now want to do a mini trailer because the big one's huge and it requires like a 2-ton truck to pull it. So they want to do a mini trailer. And who's with me? And they're going to wrap this mini trailer. So they're looking for sponsors. And once they wrap this thing, they're not changing it out every year. They're going to wrap it and your name is on it forever. So wherever they travel, wherever they go, whatever they do, subliminal marketing, our name is going to be on this trailer. And they do like, God, I don't know how many events they do a year. I'd probably say at least 100, at least 100. So if I can get my logo on their trailer that goes everywhere and is seen by everybody, oh man, that's a good day. So again, doing what other people are not, like having our name up on a scoreboard forever at this baseball field by having our name on a wrap trailer for the Millbrae Lions, to me, that's just disruptive and it's innovative and it gets a lot of eyes on your brand. A lot of eyes on your brand. It just simply does. So again, where do moms shop, eat, and play? Next slide, Marco. I really wanted to challenge you on that, because it allows us to look at the potential outside. And we had this discussion at dinner, with these high-end Taekwondo school. And you know what? I'm going to say it again. I love my Taekwondo brothers and sisters. And people think I'm nuts. I'm a Kenpo guy. I don't take Taekwondo. I couldn't do a Pumse for my life. But I really love the kinship, that they have, the yes sir and the loyalty to their instructors. It's just really, really amazing. And because my dad taught me, and in many cases for these Taekwondo school owners, their dads taught them, and their grandfather might have been involved, I feel a deep, deep kinship. So anytime I get to spend time with them, I feel very blessed and very lucky. So, and continuing that forward, I think the big thing we talked about is investing in those relationships and spending that time in your community and cultivating that in a big, big way, right? That's important. So what it comes down to is understanding, what do moms need? What do they need? What do moms need, right? We know who our avatar is. We know who our demographic is. The moms with 6-year-old kids, the single moms, the same-sex moms, all of them, all of them. A mom is a mom is a mom. I don't care how you want to slice or dice it. So then we say, what do moms need? What do they need? And then if you position your business as the ability to fulfill that need, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. So we know every parent wants their child to be confident. Everybody wants their child to be able to focus and pay attention. And that's nothing new. But I think what is new is, how do you sing that song, right? How do you sing it? Do you say in a subject line of an email, we teach focus and discipline to 5-year-olds? Or do we say, would you like your child to be a better listener? Or would you like your child to believe in themselves? Right? Which one creates an emotional connection? Because that's what this is all about, creating emotional connections, because that is where people buy from. Look at our stock market. Look how emotional it is right now. How many moms have come into your school and they have that emotional connection. For me, it's so imperative. It's number one. And our avatar, I was talking to, again, my friends from Buffalo, New York, Master Mertens and Pam and Tom in San Jose, is that I said, this would be like my ideal student. It's a mom, right? 3 of the kids come to our karate classes. 3. And we don't have sibling discounts. 3. Okay, you with me? The youngest one takes private lessons once a week. And they just did the son's birthday party last Saturday. And our birthday parties are $750. That's a whole nother topic, but $750. So I figured in a given year, this family probably spends around $10,000 with us. That's just amazing. Amazing. And those are the relationships we want to amplify and ask ourselves, what are we doing so right that this family has 3 kids paying full price and a birthday party, and they do, private lessons. But here's the kicker. They referred 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 or 6 cousins. No, let's see. Harrison, Julian, James, Celeste, Tavid, Tyler, Tyson, and so about 7 or 8 people on top of their 3, folks. Those are the avatar, and I want to mine that data. So I'm always asking that mom questions. What do you guys like about us? Why? Why? Because that type of success is something we can utilize, right? They need a structured activity. Sure. That is safe and fun, and where the mom can have a little time for themselves. Yeah. And that's, again, in our discussions, location is a big thing. I know, and you'll vouch for this, because the class is only 40 minutes or 45 minutes. For me to get in my car and drive 2 miles away to Trader Joe's, not a good day. Not a good day. But if I can sit there and walk out of your school and walk 100 feet to the right and be at Trader Joe's, like at our Millbrae location, that's a good day. Safeway, another major grocery chain in San Francisco, is literally 200 feet away. So for me, I'm big on location, because you're right, Jason, that convenience of that mom, right, who's got to go up to the store and grab dinner. It's just such a good day. It's a good day for them, and they appreciate that. So I'm big on location. So what do moms need? And I would write that up. I would ask my moms, especially someone like this one with three kids, what is it about the martial arts? What is it that you want for your kids that we fulfill? And because, the obvious we know, a structured activity in a safe place so they have time for themselves. The obvious we know. I think, again, what's going to set us apart from everybody else in the industry, set us apart from soccer, baseball, everything else, is our ability to understand at a higher level what is it that moms need, right? And sure, there's always the meat and potato, but that's what's really going to elevate your game. Thus, the life skills learning, right? When kids love life skills. Sure, I could simply give you some handout and say, in order to belt test, you must do these 10 things at home. Okay, no, we took it deeper. We have a life talk. We took it deeper. We have a coloring sheet. We took it deeper. We have a way to train the instructor. We took it deeper. We have an actual peel and stick badge that the child can earn. And you saw my last video that I think is going to become a new system for us. When a parent comes to you and says, my child does not want to practice, it's a lifeline. They're asking for help. You have this pep talk with the kid. He goes home and he starts playing Roblox. So what I did, I took 3 life skills. First one is choices. So they get the badge with the student parent discovery sheet and the coloring sheet on the back, right? The good choice is to practice at home for 15 minutes a day without being told. When you can do that for a week, your parents will award this to you. The next one is responsibility. It is your responsibility to practice at home. When you can do this for 5 days in a row, your parents will award you the responsibility badge. And then last is practice. The value of practice, why practicing is good. When you do it for 5 days in a row, 15 minutes a day, your parents will award you the practice badge. Then week 4, we have a little trophy about, 8, 9 inches tall, and we put their name on it. So all of these tools are given to a parent now. Yeah, and the trophy's only $7 at 80 Trophy in New Jersey. It's $7, you guys, 7 freaking dollars, right? So I figured between the support materials and everything, it's about a $10 investment. But would you invest $10 to get a student to practice? I would. And in a 4-week period, it's going to instill a new habit. You with me? So understand what your moms need in your community and fulfill those needs. Some guy was doing camp and nobody's attending it. I said, well, who is your avatar? Who is your demographic for that? Right? The very well-off mom who wants to drop their kid off for half a day because she's going to get her nails done or go to the club and do Pilates. Right? We get those all the time. Can I bring my kid in for a day, half day? And the avatar we've seen are people that don't work day jobs, right? So who needs you for camp? The working mom, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pretty simple. So if your camp isn't offering those type of hours for the working parent, then you've already, put yourself out of the running. Cool? So know what your moms need and make sure that you can fulfill those needs. Cool? Next slide, sir. And so, I think this was American Dojo. Raising little humans is hard, but I really thought that was cool because what that did, and this is an old ad, it creates the connection with people, right? We're trying to create an emotional connection. Here we have a mom in the foreground looking at her child, quality family time, interacting. It's obviously, a family parenting type class. Find support, community, right? Encouragement and powerful parenting tools to instill the values you hold dear. Everything a mom's at, right? It's sympathetic, it's empathetic, right? It appeals. It's a simple post, but it's very clean. Honestly, would I put my logo in the corner? That's not necessary. I might have dropped out that background with the logo on the right and put it under values you hold dear. But in today's world, because this is an old presentation, I would probably slap a QR code in there, for one free trial class. But again, if it's at social media, you could put the link up top in the body of the copy, unless it's Instagram, and then you put it in the profile, right? And here you go. See, so, and this is what I'm buying. That's why I don't get it when somebody takes some stock photo of somebody, standing on a waterfall, some little kid in a neatly white pressed uniform, and they sell that. It doesn't work. This is what I'm buying. Oh, that's what the class is about. Oh, there's parent participation. Oh, I get to work with my child. So there's no second guessing. But again, I really, really love raising little humans is hard, and hard in all uppercase letters, everything else. But it's not, it's not a really aggressive ad. So super cool. So kudos to American Dojo on that. So that's an example of a social media ad. The only thing I would have leaned into, but they don't really have a brand, was something like, believe martial arts, be successful. Raising little humans is hard, but if you can find a community that's supportive, you can be successful, right? I mean, you could have went that route too. So take a look at that, because I know in all its simplicity, you don't see any filters and bells and whistles, but I hope you can see why I think this is a good ad. Cool. Next one, sir. Okay. So take a look at this. This is a print ad, right? And tell me, what do you like about this and what don't you like about this? I think it looks really good. Aesthetically, it's really, really good. It's real good. My challenge with this one, it's a little busy, right? It's a little busy for me. And again, because they don't know you, I think it's totally cool that you put karate up top. But I would believe something like this would be a lot more effective for me if it had something like, would you like your child to learn to pay attention better or be a better listener? Obviously, this kid's got amazing focus. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then the logo's not necessary. It's just simply not, right? It's not. They're not buying a logo. They won't get the peaceful warrior thing or any of that, right? That's a great place to put a QR code in today's culture. And the best decision you will make for your child, let me decide that, right? I don't even know you yet. It's like a guy telling a girl, that it'll be your best decision if you date me. Very confident, right? And so that's kind of appealing. But I would have used this. I love the picture. my concern with the doubled up fists, it could be taken out of context. So I would look at that. But again, graphically, it's so sound. Graphically, it's sound. Remember, it's a print ad. It's not a social media. Social media, I always want to be extremely mindful that when I design an ad, is it native to Facebook? Is it native to Instagram? Right? What's the size of the ad? Is it native? We know Facebook for that kind of stuff doesn't like a lot of copy on an ad. I don't need to put my logo. Sometimes I would just take a straight picture. But if I'm using this for a print and I'm going to use it in a booth or as a handout, it's fun. It's really fun, right? It is. It's fun. I just, again, I think it's really, really busy. Like I can't even read the bottom line. None of that's necessary, right? Because it gets very cumbersome and people don't read a lot. They just don't. The picture speaks 1,000 words. I'd make the call to action precise and put one power thing up top, right? Would you like your child to be a beloved listener? But like I said, I put it here graphically. It's sound. It's very sound. Next one. So, and this is if you ever get a chance, watch the Simon Sinek piece, the Golden Circle. Right, the outside of the circle. What do we have? We have the what are we? We're a martial arts schools. And that's what most martial arts schools do. Most schools market from the what. That's why the biggest thing in an ad is the name of their freaking school. And that's a huge mistake. You would never see Apple put their name really big on the top of the ad. I mean, look at my iPhone. Oh, I can't take this case off. The Apple logo is like freaking, it's so small. This computer, I mean, it says MacBook Pro. I don't see a big ass Apple logo anywhere. MacBook Pro is like this freaking little. Great products simply don't need that. What you want is that emotional connection. And then in the next part of the Simon Sinek, he talks about how. Some people market from the how. How do we do it? Quality martial arts programs and life skills. Okay. But very seldom do people market from the why. And the why is where we create an emotional connection with people. That's where it happens. So the why is, right? Would you like your child to be a better listener? Oh, yes, I would. Tell me more. How do I do that? Well, you do it through quality life skills and martial arts instructions. Great. And what kind of place is that? Oh, we're a martial arts school, right? And so the band played on. So if you can, go back and take a look at your current Facebook marketing and are you marketing from the why, right? It's still, I think, in many ways, when they don't know you from Adam, tried and true, right? I'm running an ad for Boston, martial arts school owners. That's me, right? And then it tells a little bit about the what's going on. But, for me, because I want to get out there more. They need to know who's the facilitator. That to me is the big thing, because we have so many seminars and stuff going on all the time now. People are really trying to decide, whose seminar am I going to go to? I know I'm going to get systems. I know I'm going to get curriculum development. I know I'm going to get staff training. I'll probably get some digital marketing, on and on. But so now it's starting, I think, at least, and I could be completely wrong, that they need to see, who's this guy, who's this woman, who's marketing to me. Feel free to critique this ad video created this morning. Oh, yeah. What is that, Marco? What is that? Yeah, and it is. So again, I would show it to a mom and ask her what she thinks. That's all the time. All the time. All the time. But it's, again, once you know your avatar and you know your demographic, that's important. That's why we don't put a lot of ads with kids punching another kid or sparring. You would never see me post an ad with sparring gear. I would do it, in my friends and family page, right, at social media, showing, hey, tonight's sparring night. Do you have gear? Or we're having a sale on gear. But I would never take a general ad to the public and put two people kicking and punching each other. Never, ever, never, ever. Now, some people said, then you're not selling the self-defense component. Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, we understand the value of self-defense and what that means, but I don't think that's putting our best foot forward with an introduction, right? Again, relationships. It's all about relationships. And if you had a brand new relationship and you're trying to introduce yourself to it, what's the best way to do that, right? What's the best way to do that? And only you can decide that. But again, if you know your demographic, you know where they eat, shop, and play, you know how they behave, you know what their needs are, you identify that you can fulfill those needs. Then as you start cultivating, copy, and you're crafting stuff for these different, and where you're going to spend that advertising dollar, you do it from a very clear why. Ours is live your best life. We have one ad and it's kids punching and smiling. We have every award we've ever won on it, right? And right across the top, it says live your best life. I would never put the name of my school up front. Well, you do it on the outside of your building. That's different. They're coming to the location. It needs to be identified, right? It simply does. It simply does. So again, the way you market on things at the front of your school have nothing to do when you make a flyer for print. Has nothing to do when you're doing an event. You with me on that? Everybody with me? We're good? All right. What's next on that slide? Anything else there, Marco? Cool. So again, and I'm going after Marco. This was Marco's old brand because Marco's so badass. I mean, he's just so badass now. We know Marco is now Focus Martial Arts, one of the brands I helped rebrand that I'm proud of all you guys. You're each like a newborn baby to me, when we first get into that work. But if you look at what Marco does now and what this is about, you're going to be like, wow. But I want you to see this because at the time, Marco wasn't working with me, but now he is. But, again, I wouldn't put the what. See, the what is there. What is this? Kids martial arts. What is this? We're Peaceful Warrior Martial Arts. The what is heavy. It's in 1, 2, 3 places. The how and the why, look how small that is. And the why is kind of. So the picture is great. I think the picture is awesome. What I probably would do is, take away about 70% of this copy and really make it clear. And my whole purpose is to spark curiosity. If you were to redo this, how would you create that emotional connection? How would you do that? How would you do that? Right? I think that's the bigger question. And if you show this to a mom, I think she's going to look at the picture right away and see the kids and know it's a martial arts school. So again, what do we really want to say here? Right? What do we really, really want to say here? And so just take a look at that, and I think you'll get what I'm trying to share. There's no real why here. There's no real emotional connection. To me, the greatest emotional connection are the kids. They just are. They just are. And for me, that works all day. Okay, next one. So this was one that we ran, and it wasn't a Facebook ad. This was an actual, and I don't know why the slides are loading that way, because that 4 weeks wasn't jacked up like that, but it's okay. It's okay. And now because of where we are and we don't do this, we don't have to do 4 weeks in a uniform for $99, 2 weeks in a uniform for this price, 14 days for $14. We do not. But it would be ill-advised for me to tell any brand new school owner coming out of the gate not to do that. I encourage you to do that. They need to test drive the product. They need to get to know you. When you do a Google search, we're most searched for by name at this point. And that's pretty cool. We've worked really, really hard to get to this point. But here we go. Would you like your child to be a better listener? Absolutely. There you go, right? OneMartialArts.com is the smallest on the bottom. We don't even put our phone number anymore. Nobody's going to call your school 99% of the time, right? They're going to go to the website. They're going to look at you. Then we want them to opt in. There's some social proof. The ward up in the right-hand corner is there. And then, of course, the copy. You know, the more of the proof again. Martial arts teaches kids 4 years and up to pay attention to their parents and to do things right away. Well, shit, I want some of that. But see how we identified, would you like your child to be a better listener? We're making that emotional connection with the parent. That's super important to us. And it's obvious by the smile on the girl's face. See, look at this position. She ain't kicking the crap out of somebody. She ain't punching somebody in the face. She's not rear naked choking somebody. That is by design. That is by design. But an industry standard focus building course. Okay. It's a focus building course based upon would you like your child to be a better listener, right? 4 weeks in a uniform and there's a price. So I like this ad. It did very, very well for us. It was on a little, glossy stock card. We give them out at fairs. There's there's no expiration date by design because it was always there. So that scarcity law, limited time, you can do that too, right? Right now, 25 spots before tomorrow, right? I mean, you can do that too. It's been proven data wise to really pull on the psychology of people and get them to sign up. Sure. So I hope you see the value in this ad. Next thing, sir. And, think about everything we went through today. What are some of your biggest takeaways? Anybody? What are some of your biggest takeaways? Participate in this thing and help me out. And while you do that and put it in there, I'll share this with you. You talk about sponsoring baseball teams, right, Jason? I'm going to put this goofy ass thing on for a minute. Okay. So I get home from spring training and my wife hands this to me. And my first thing is like, what the heck is this thing? What is this? One Martial Arts. I don't get it. This is one of the baseball teams we sponsor because it's Millbrae. So the giant M is what's on this hat for the baseball team. And because they're it's just so cool, right? That's my school logo or name. Doesn't need to be up front and center on every. Yeah. Thank you, Umar. Nice to have you here, Umar. What's the name of your school where you're tuning in from? Umar Nino. What a cool name. And so, anyways, this is the baseball team we sponsor, folks. But they were so proud. They were creative. And look what they did. They put the O and they put the A for One Martial Arts. And yours truly will wear this freaking hat because I think it's just so nice of them to do that. Yes, we have our name on the back of their uniform, but now they did that. Is that cool? I mean, I think it's cool, right? It's not my logo per se or anything, but I think it's cool that they went out of their way and they did that. Dragon Gate. All right. Academy in Massachusetts. Awesome. In Mass. Hey, we're going to be out in Boston, sir. You should come join us in Boston. Marco will connect with you and tell you need to come to It's Time Live Boston, sir. And Marco will post that up. Put it in the comments, Marco. Very cool. Great. I'm grateful that you're here. What are our other takeaways today, folks? Please put it in. And so, see, things like the baseball team is huge for us, right? That one went over really well. The middle school's doing some event. They just asked us to do the cotton candy machine. But I'm going to tell you, think farmer, go long term. Here's a classic example. I'm doing a thing at a Catholic school, right? 3 talks. Each talk is 40 minutes in the gym, right? We have 4 to 6, 7 and 8, and then 9 and older, 240 minutes. I'm getting paid $1,500 for that, folks. $1,500 because we're becoming so well known as an authority on the subject because I've gone out there countless times to promote the school and then we've done it for free where people are looking at us now as this quality product they're willing to pay for. I did a women's self-defense workshop for 1 hour for $1,200. So just like the birthday party thing. When I stopped using the birthday party to get leads and we developed the most kick-ass birthday party we could, right? Not to get leads, but to really be better than any birthday facility in our community. We now charge $750 for our birthday parties, and they are booking. Again, we used to do 18 a month between two locations, so again, if you can charge top dollar, create another revenue stream, create memorable experiences that the parents know it's unequaled as a birthday party anywhere, and you still get leads, that to me is great business. It is. It's great business, okay? It's great business. So what are your other takeaways, folks? Put them in the comments. Cool, right? Isn't that cool? I mean, that's thoughtful. They didn't have to add the O and the A, but they did. They did. And I thought that was really nice of them to do that, right? Because this is our team. This is our team. And so I'm kind of proud of that. I'm very proud of that. Cool. And while I'm waiting for your comments and your big takeaways, Marco, let's share with them It's Time Live Boston, sir. So that's coming up. It's right around the corner, April 23rd. Now, if you're around, on the 22nd, if you come in a day early, Marco is having his grand opening at Focus Martial Arts. I'm going to be out there running some mods for him. What I shared with him is we want to have the dance card filled, do focus for 20 minutes, do a confidence building for 20 minutes, do dodgeball for 20 minutes, and rotate these activities all afternoon long. Marco's going to have a cannoli truck out there. We're going to give away prizes. The mayor's going to cut the ribbon, and it's a re-grand opening. They moved to a new location, and he's really done it right. We've strategized together on this, so I'm really excited to be there for Marco, and that was my main reason for going out. But we figured if we can offer you an It's Time Live and spend 9 hours together cultivating the mindset, learning how to write systems, how to work on a rotating curriculum, how to train your staff, attract staff, your brand, the whole 9 yards, why not? Why not? So I hope to see you at It's Time Live Boston. Let's thank our sponsors, Marco, one more time, please. To Saw, Gunny and them, they're growing a lot. I believe now is the time for us to be in this relationship. It is. And to Saw, if they supply uniforms for the Olympians in Taekwondo. And they want to branch out into the martial arts. I've bought my beginning uniforms from them forever. My father was one of the first clients in the 90s. So if you're looking for a great beginner uniform, I know we have that dialed in. I will go to bat for you. I shared with them, anybody that comes through me, I will make sure things are right. And he said, oh, absolutely, sir. Market Muscle, Steven's in Japan. I'm grateful that he's there. He loves Japan. He loves training there. And it's very cool that he's there. My studio, Two in the Gang, the product just keeps getting better and better and better. We just did all of our belts for April, and the ability to update ranks now, with one button is just super, super cool. Kids love life skills. You need character development. You really do. And to find one that's not cumbersome, one that's not going to step on your curriculum and be super time consuming, I believe Kids Love Life Skills offers that, because we, have a student parent handout, a 1-minute live talk, the coloring sheet, all that stuff's done from home, except for the live talk. But what you have are the badges, right? To peel and stick this badge and put it on a kid creates that Disney moment, that experience in class that is unequaled. And then my sister at LC Accounting, great bookkeeper. She keeps me in line. She's always kicking my butt, and I love her. She looks out for my well-being. So the decisions we make collectively is because she knows who I am, what my family needs are, and the different things. She'll sometimes wrinkle a brow when we're spending all this money to go to Disneyland, but that's the family need. We stay in the best hotels, we fly the best, we eat the best. That's not a compromise for me. I won't compromise that. So she understands that, but then she'll kick my butt somewhere else. Cool. All right. So no other big takeaways today? Everybody just rocking and rolling? Yeah. So we're going to share this after. Please, I encourage you to subscribe to Success Never Sleeps. It's on all the podcast platforms as well as the YouTube channel. We also have mindful meditations. I'm a huge advocate of my mindset and creating a healthy mindset so that I can truly enjoy my success as well as the challenges, right? Do follow me at Instagram. Get my book, Live, Learn, Grow, or get The Adventures of Bray and Tay. You can get that at the Kids Love Life Skills website. I believe we have a bulk discount, so you want to avoid Amazon on that one if you can. Cool. Consult your moms. Yeah, that's the big takeaway for me. I'm always asking my moms, and I think it says something about the relationship. It shows you have a deep respect for your moms. It shows that you value your mom's opinion, and they're just tickled pink. Like, what? Why are you asking me? Because, you are the ideal avatar for our school, and what you say matters to me, and I want to take that into consideration. So I think that's a big one as well, right? And it's something we don't want to let go unchecked. Anytime we can do that, involve our moms, they love it. They always have an opinion, and I think that's cool. All right. And then what, last but not least, it's Time Life Balance, my 4-day experience, 20 school owners here in San Francisco, actually Millbrae, 5 minutes from the airport. Get your flight booked now. Don't book it in July for August. It's way too expensive. Book your hotel now. We have a great discount. It's at the website. Go to look under events at brannonbeliso.com. You spend 4 days with me. It is a retreat. We do silent meditations. We do work outside in nature. All those different things that I understand help create the optimal mindset. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it in Vegas. You're not going to come in hungover. You're not going to be out all night. It's really a focused learning of 4 days, and it is a journey of self-discovery and purpose. And you'll get systems and all the rest too. So 20 school owners, get signed up now. So your flight is inexpensive, your hotel is inexpensive, close the school, do what you got to do for 4 days, but you need to be at It's Time Life Balance. Cool? All right. So, hey, I'm going to get out of here. My name is Brannon Beliso. Thank you, Marco, for holding down the reins, and take all the things that I've shared with you, especially the one about the high-end operators, myself, Abel Usello, 300 students, world-class Taekwondo, 793 students. It's not about digital ads. It really is about focusing on retention. It really is about investing in your culture, investing in your team, and spending your resources and focus and time there. And it's the ripple effect. You take care of this on the inside, it all radiates outwards. Cool? It simply does. So share this broadcast with as many people as you can, even after the fact, when you see the replay come up, and get people on board. Again, someone like I said to that couple, you should be doing seminars. You should be out there teaching people. I was fascinated, asking them 1,000 questions. How do you get 790 students? What is that you do? What's the top 3 things? Da, 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 da. And I picked their brain because success leaves clues. Cool? So I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, please, 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 you go out there, live your best life. Yeah.